Hey guys, hi. Good morning again. Today's session is going to be quite different and perhaps बहुत लोगों की जलने वाली है, बहुत लोगों की जलने वाली because I'm going to speak some uncomfortable truths about why today's leaders fail to cut off the outside noise, why today's leaders are so scared of moving ahead, and why Gen Zs will definitely rule. Um, you might have often seen, your managers, your management be a bit hesitant, when you talk about change, when you talk about doing things differently, and it's not their fault. Trust me, guys. Uh, I have It's been a privilege to have worked with a lot of Fortune 500 companies throughout my career. I have a 15-year work experience, working in major US companies, major Indian companies as well. Most of them IT and financial sectors. And I've seen this whole cabal, of leaders who try to stay in their own bubble. वो लोग कभी उस bubble से बाहर निकलते ही नहीं है. God knows why. Maybe they think that, everything is perfect on the outside. Maybe they have this belief that अगर हम हैं तो ही system है. I don't know. But I'm going to say or share, speak some uncomfortable truths, what I have seen over the years. Perhaps, anyone listening to this who's part of or who sees this in their day-to-day life may kind of connect with me. The first thing I see is that there's a lot of ego issue. Ego itself is a three-letter word, but it's huge. And it's not just limited to people who are very senior, people who are very junior. I'm talking very specifically, to people who sit in those leadership roles, right? They have the huge ego that, how can someone talk to me like this? How can someone just, come up and say hi to me? How can people just, message me? How can people just, just email me? Can't you follow a hierarchy? Well, sir, yes. People resort to emailing you or pinging you when they know that the hierarchy is not doing anything. Is it truly a people's fault when they reach out to you? Is it truly someone's fault if they message you, or if they say a hi, or if they try to connect to you, maybe to share something, maybe something valuable, right? Most leaders don't like it. Most leaders won't even appreciate it. I don't know why. Is it something which you guys really see this in India, or is it there in most Indian companies? I don't know. Perhaps you're the best judge, right? You guys listening to this, you guys working, know what I'm talking about. You absolutely know what I'm talking about, right? What does it speak about the culture of the company, where you know that you really can't reach out to your hierarchy because then you'll be questioned at every step? आपको क्वेश्चन किया जाएगा, राइट, कि क्या हो गया इसको अचानक, यार सब कुछ ठीक तो चल रहा है, टीम में सब कुछ बराबर तो चल रहा है, अचानक से क्या हो गया? Why is he reaching out to the manager? Why is he reaching out to the manager का manager? Why is it reaching out to the manager का manager का manager? ओह, इसने तो डायरेक्टर को ही लिखा. क्यों? क्या हम पागल हैं? क्या वो सारे एम्प्लॉइज जो काम करने आते हैं वो पागल हैं? कुछ तो रीजन होगा ना. As a leader, what is your job? Your job is to ensure that you create a safe environment for people working under you. A safe environment. Safe environment का ये मतलब नहीं कि आप जैकेट पहन लो, बुलेट प्रूफ. No. Safe environment is something where every person has a voice. Every person is cared for. Every person is listened to without judgments. Even when someone says something which is a harsh criticism of your manager, you as a leader should make sure that person remains anonymous. You don't take names when you address it to the concerned manager, right? सबसे पहले तो आपको सुनना पड़ेगा. और चलो आप सुन भी लेते हो, maybe you're a leader who really listens. How are you going to portray it out to the concerned manager, right? Are you going to take names saying, hey, XYZ ने तेरे बारे में ऐसा बोला? No. If you always think about your image and you always think about how am I going to profit from this, I'm sorry, you are not a good leader. A good leader is someone who strengthens the process by making sure that the people who are under him, okay, not the workers or the employees, but the people, but the managerial people, the associate directors, the senior managers, the managers, they understand the responsibility and they take accountability for it. वरना फायदा ही क्या है? The second most important point what I feel is that they really don't want to let you grow, मुझे नहीं पता if you really agree to this or not, but ऐसा होता है ना कि वो लोग अपना knowledge अपने पास रखते हैं. I've seen this innumerable amount of times, right? आप एज अ लीडर, आप ऐसे बड़ी पोजीशन में पहुंचे हो, डायरेक्टली तो पहुंचे नहीं होगे. चलो आपका अगर कहीं पहचान होगा और आप डायरेक्टली पहुंच गए तो वो अलग बात है. बट नो, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दोस 99.99% ऑफ फोक्स, जहां पे आप भी नीचे से मेहनत करके आए हो, राइट? आप भी एक एसोसिएट लेवल पे ज्वाइन किए थे, फिर आप सीनियर एसोसिएट होंगे, फिर आप धीरे धीरे यू वुड हैव रिजन अप द रैंक्स, राइट? आपने उस टाइम में कितना नॉलेज गेन किया रहेगा? आर यू रियली इंपोर्टिंग दैट नॉलेज टू द पीपल हु आर सबऑर्डिनेट्स, हु आर अंडर यू? व्हाट इज योर रोल एज अ लीडर देन? मैंने देखा है काफी सारे लीडर्स ये करने से डरते हैं कि कोई और अच्छा ना आ जाए, कोई और उनका जगह नहीं खा ले, maybe someone good might take his or her spot. Well, then if you're really worried about this, then I'm sorry, then you're a very poor leader by judgment, by own skills, by own knowledge then. And if you're a good leader, you would encourage people to take up projects, come in sync with you, work with you. You would have showcase how leadership should be, right? By being an example. Are you really being an example for your team right now? बताओ कितने लीडर्स ऐसे हैं जो ना बोलते हैं कि अगर कुछ डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन हो गया, दे लाइक से दैट, हे, व्हाट गाइस, तुम लोग अपना डे टू डे ऑपरेशन संभालो, लेट मी हैंडल दिस ईमेल. आई हैव Rarely seen such leaders. और वो लीडर्स जो ये करते हैं, ट्रस्ट मी, वो लोग अलग ही दिखते हैं, वो लोग ना चमकते हैं यार, दे आर लाइक अ स्टार इन अ डेड स्काई. इफ यू हैव सच अ लीडर, ट्रस्ट मी, स्टिक टू दैट लीडर. ही इज योर बेस्ट मेंटोर दैट यू कैन एवर गेट, बिकॉज बाहर की दुनिया बहुत कमी है बॉस. ना तो कोई आपको एक पैसे का सिखाएगा, नहीं तो आपको कोई मुफ्त का ज्ञान देगा. कोई आपको कुछ नहीं सिखाने वाला है, जबकि वो इंसान को पता है कि भाई मैं कर सकता हूं इसका हेल्प, बट स्टिल वो नहीं करेगा. वाई? खुद की कुर्सी बचानी है. इतना इतना फियर है ना, इतना फियर है कि मैं आपको क्या बताऊं गाइस. एंड द लास्ट एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग व्हिच आई फील is they just want to divide and rule. मैं आगे कुछ बोलूं नहीं बोलूं पता नहीं, बट they just want to divide and rule, वो लोग को पावर, पोजीशन, अथॉरिटी में मजा आता है. मजा आता है वो लोग को मजा आता है सिचुएशंस क्रिएट करना टीम में, इंटरनल. वो लोग को मजा आता है देखते हुए कि चलो मैनेजर के पास काम नहीं है, उसको टीम को भिड़ा ही देते हैं यार, क्या ही हो जाएगा, मजा आएगा. उफ. मैं यहाँ पे मेरा करता रहता हूँ काम, आई जस्ट वांट टू टेक अप गुड प्रोजेक्ट्स. मेरे और अपर मैनेजमेंट को भी दिखाऊंगा कि देखो टीम तो ये तो आपस में ही लड़ रहे हैं. मैं as a leader, I'm doing this, whereas I'm guiding my managers to, control them, whereas you as a leader can put a full stop right there, but will you? क्या आप करते हो वो? बहुत लोग अभी स्माइल कर रहे होंगे, शायद से बहुत लोग रिकलेक्ट कर रहे होंगे कि यार कभी ना कभी तुम्हारी लाइफ में ऐसा हुआ रहेगा कि कहीं से तो सब कुछ टीम में अच्छा चल रहा है, अचानक से पता नहीं कुछ कुछ क्या हो गया. अचानक से 1-on-1 में यार मेरे टीम मेंबर्स गए एंड देन सडनली दे चेंज्ड. ऐसा क्या हो गया? डिवाइड एंड रूल. You say that you're a good leader? Well, avoid these three things and you will be one. Bye guys.